Hey guys, welcome to the homestead. So what we're doing today is we are boiling maple sap. We're turning sap into maple syrup. It's a little early I think, but we had one really good day and we got 20 gallons of sap from the 4 trees in town. The trees up here that you saw us tap have about 5 gallons set in the buckets right now, and it's probably about another 15 gallons in town. So we have basically kind of makeshift here. Let me get out of your sun. But we've used this old truck body because it's real windy today and the turkey cooker keeps blowing out. So we set the thing inside the truck body and we have boiled 20 gallons down to what you see there. And I'm not sure you can tell what's in there through all the steam, but there is probably, I'm going to say there's probably about 1.5 gallons left in there, maybe 1 gallon. And we anticipate somewhere around 1/2 gallon of syrup out of this batch. So we're gonna let this keep boiling. When it gets close, we're probably gonna move it in the house so we can keep an eye on it with the candy thermometer and adjust it a little closer. And of course, we'll bring you along for that. So we'll bring you back when this gets really close to turning into syrup. And I'm not sure if you can smell that, but it smells really good. Alright, so we're back. We've got our setup now on our little tabletop gas stove with a smaller, like 4-quart saucepan. And as you can see, we're at a pretty good boil. I think we probably still have about a quart and a half of water to get rid of. But we're calibrating candy thermometer right now, and we will bring that out and put that in here, and we'll bring you along as this finishes off. It's kind of just watching the pot boil, right?
We finished boiling off almost all the water from the maple syrup that we need to take out of it, and we decided to finish it up in here in a smaller pan so that we can get a better view of the candy thermometer and hopefully a more accurate temperature. We did do one test pint already, and that's over here. You can see that we maybe went a little too hot on the temperature on this one. You shine the light through it, you can see that there's a cone sort of shaped thing in there, and that is maple sugar. So when you take the maple syrup past the point of syrup, it starts to turn into candy. And if you keep boiling it, it'll turn into actually a hard candy. And so what happened there is the sugar crystals have started to form like they would for either maple sugar or maple candy. So that means we just went a little bit too long and too hot on that. So this batch we're going to try and do just a little bit less, take it off a degree or 2 sooner, and hopefully we'll get better clarity in our syrup. Either way, it should still taste great. This is our first time doing it, so it's a bit of an experiment, and hopefully we'll learn a few things. So I don't know if you can read the thermometer, but right now it's sitting right about 215, which is just a bit over boiling point. Ryan got you a little bit of steam on the lens there. But we want to let it sit there, and as it comes up to about 217, that's where we're going to pull it off the heat, and we will let the last batch go to about 219, which seems to have been a little warm.
So we're back, and we are actually finally finished up with our first round of maple syrup. One thing we found, we're looking at it, and we thought it was crystallizing, but after talking to a friend that does a lot of maple syrup, we realized that it's really just a sugary type sand that's in the syrup, and it'll settle to the bottom. We ran it through a coffee filter and then put it back in the jars, and you can see now, nice and clear. If I get you up to the light there, you can see a little bit of that on the bottom. That jar has been in the fridge because it's not sealed. That one there's a lot clearer. You see how clear this stuff is, and you can see the sugary, sandy stuff on the bottom. So out of that 13 to 14 gallons of sap, we got 4.5 pints of syrup. Now, typically, I guess my understanding is the first run of sap, as the tree starts moving it in this, spring, has a lot more sugar content, and as you go on, it's going to boil down to a lesser quantity as the cycle goes on through the season. But we're excited. We did check our buckets this morning, and we have probably at least another 15 gallons of sap. So we're just going to keep going and keep boiling as long as the trees will give sap for us. And yeah, any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.